So, what really happens when you plant a single tiny seed and then kind of forget about it? Today, we're going to dive into a story that's all about that. It's about the quiet, simple joy of watching something grow and the amazing connection that blossoms right alongside it.
I mean, think about it for a second. Have you ever done that? Put something so small into the ground and just watched it, hoped for it. It's such a simple act, right? And that feeling, that little spark of hope, that's exactly where our story kicks off.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're meeting our main character, a 6-year-old kid named Rakesh. And he's got this one single leftover cherry seed. But hey, this isn't just some backyard gardening tale. Oh no, this is a story about what can happen when you take a little piece of luck and give it just a tiny push.
And get this, the setting is half the battle. We're in the Himalayan foothills. This is not easy-peasy gardening territory. The soil is rocky, and these dry, cold winds are just brutal. They stop most plants dead in their tracks. So right off the bat, you know that for a tiny seed to make it here, it's going to take something special, a little miracle even. So picture Rakesh walking home, munching on cherries. He gets to the last one, but instead of spitting the seed out, he keeps it, rolls it around on his tongue until every last bit of that sharp, sweet flavor, that tang is gone. It seems like such a small thing, right? But it's the beginning of his connection to this one specific seed. And then Rakesh asks his grandfather this really innocent question. Are cherry seeds lucky? And his grandfather's answer, wow, it pretty much sets the stage for the whole story. He says, nothing is lucky if you just put it away. If you want luck, you got to put it to use. It's this beautiful, simple idea, right? Luck isn't about having something, it's about doing something with it. So Rakesh takes this advice to heart. He goes to plant the seed. But, he's a 6-year-old kid. This isn't some big, solemn ceremony. He just finds a little shady corner, pushes the seed into the dirt with his thumb, and then completely forgets about it and runs off to play. It's so funny. This huge, life-changing thing starts with him just forgetting.
Okay, so a whole winter goes by. Just imagine it. Grandfather telling stories by the fire, those harsh winds howling outside, the garden is totally bare. And that little seed, it's just out there, forgotten under the frozen ground. But then, finally, spring starts to creep in.
And one morning, Rakesh is out in the garden, and he sees this little twig sticking out of the ground. He goes to pull it, and it doesn't move. It's rooted. And it clicks. He just bolts to his grandfather, yelling, "Dada, come look, the cherry tree has come up." The one they both totally forgot about, it actually worked. And when they look, it is tiny. We're talking 4 inches tall. It's so small you could barely see it. A fragile, vulnerable little thing. This is not some big, strong tree. It's just a little whisper of a plant, holding on for dear life. And just like that, this forgotten seed becomes Rakesh's whole world. He's so careful, giving it just a little sprinkle of water. And then he does this adorable thing. He builds a little circle of pebbles around it. His grandfather asks, "What are the pebbles for?" And Rakesh just says, "For privacy." How great is that? It's just this perfect kid logic way of showing he's going to protect this thing. But remember where we are. That tough Himalayan setting? Yeah, it's still there. The little tree's journey is far from over. In fact, it's about to get hit with a bunch of challenges that are going to test its will to live, and Rakesh's hope too.
So, disaster number 1. A goat just wanders into the garden and, chomp, eats all the leaves. Just like that. All that's left is the main stem and 2 little branches. You'd think for a plant that small that would be game over, right? Rakesh is, of course, devastated. But his grandfather comes in with another one of his amazing, simple truths. He just says, never mind, it'll grow again. Cherry trees are tough. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? It's not just a lesson about trees, it's a lesson for Rakesh about resilience, about how tough nature, and maybe we, can be.
But you're not going to believe this. It gets worse. A woman is in the garden cutting grass with a scythe, and she just doesn't see it. And whack, the cherry tree is cut in 2, just sliced in half. This time it feels final. Even his grandfather is worried it might not make it.
But here's the amazing part. The cherry tree, it had no intention of dying. After being eaten by a goat and cut in half, the next summer it sends out new shoots, new green leaves. It was like it was saying, nope, not done yet. It just refused to give up. What a testament to the power of life, huh?
So this is a huge turning point.
The story isn't just about survival anymore. Now it's about something deeper. It's about how Rakesh and his little trees start to grow up together. Their stories are becoming intertwined.
And you can really see it happening side by side. When Rakesh is 6, he plants the seed. At 7, the tree's just a twig. At 8, after it gets cut, it's growing new shoots, and Rakesh is getting sturdier too. Then, by the time he's 9, the tree is almost as tall as him. And then, something incredible happens. Its very first pink blossom appears.
And once it starts growing, life shows up. It's not just a plant anymore, it's becoming a home. Its first visitor is a bright green praying mantis. Then a hairy caterpillar shows up, and Rakesh carefully moves it, telling it to come back when it's a butterfly. Pretty soon you've got bees, you've got birds. The tree is building its own little ecosystem. And the tree's growth is just mind-blowing. Think about this. It's less than half Rakesh's age, but all of a sudden it's taller than he is. And then it's not long before it's taller than his grandfather, a man who's older than some of the big old oak trees in the area. It's like it's in a race to the sky.
Okay, so this brings us to the real heart of the story. It's a quiet evening, and Rakesh and his grandfather are just sitting there, under the branches of this tree that's now big and strong. And this is where we get the big takeaway.
Rakesh looks around at the forest. You know, it's full of huge, old trees. And he asks this really simple but really deep question. He says, "There are so many trees. What's so special about this one? Why does this tree matter so much?"
And his grandfather's answer is just perfect. It's so simple. He says, "We planted it ourselves. That's why it's special. It's not because it's the biggest or the oldest tree. It's special because it's theirs, because they nurtured it. The specialness comes from the connection, from the effort."
And the story closes on this just breathtaking moment. Rakesh is there touching the smooth bark of the tree he helped grow, and he whispers this question, "Is this what it feels to be God?" And wow, it just perfectly captures that incredible feeling of creation, right? Of taking this one tiny seed and helping it become a living, breathing part of the world. It really makes you think, what magic can we create just by nurturing something small?